Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. And welcome to an insane wildcard draft strategy for you. So basically, I'm going to be looking at a couple of wildcard drafts. I am going to talk to you guys about different player options to kind of help you guys out and strategy to navigate through the double and the blank game weeks. Now, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and always drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. So first up, let's have a look at my current wildcard draft for me. As you can see, this draft that I have created yesterday, I have a couple of big differentials such as Michaels and Chris Wood. Now, I am basically creating a lot of different drafts, so a lot of players are changing, and of course we still got the Champions League and Europa League games to go through, and that will change my mind again. But for now, this is what I'm thinking of, and what I'm going to do later on is look at the current template that a lot of FPL managers are going with and give you guys different options in different positions. Okay, so this is how my team is looking like so far, and this is the bench. Anyways, let's just move on to the strategy, because I am going to be changing this anyway to show you guys different drafts and different options. So here we go. So as you can see, this is a strategy that I did to navigate through the last few game weeks. We looked at navigating through the double game week 27, game week 28, the blank game week 29, and now we just finished game week 30. So that's the top row, that's what we looked at, and now we are at game week 31. This strategy that I have created, it has helped me. I have got the green arrows that I wanted. Now I'm pushing into that top 50k, and hopefully I can get a better rank at the end of the season. We have a decent amount of game weeks to kind of help us out to gain the ranks that we want. So if you look at the bottom, we got game week 31, where a lot of FPL managers are thinking to wildcard, because there is a fixture shift. There's a lot of good players with good fixtures for this next coming game weeks. And as you can see, before game week 31, there is the Champions and the Europa League fixtures. We got to watch those fixtures, you know, those matches before we make our final decision on the wildcard for game week 31. So the strategy here is basically to watch out for these games, to look at the team lineup and to see how well they do in the Champions League. This will give us an idea on which of these players will actually play in game week 31. I'll give you an example. Let's just say, as an example, that Mahrez is benched against Dortmund. If that's the case, then he might have a high chance, or has a higher chance, to play in game week 31. So if you want to take that 1 week punt on a Manchester City player, he might be the player to actually go for. So that is a little bit of a strategy there. Now, for me, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be waiting until the deadline before I confirm any kind of players. I'm going to keep my eye on these Champions League and Europa League games to make sure that I pick the players that I think that is going to start. So we move on to the double game week 32. If I set my team up correctly, this is a game week where I can actually bank the transfer. As you can see, for this double game week, we've got 2 to 3 Tottenham players. I am going to be going with 3 Tottenham players and just trying my luck. I will have 11 players for this blank game week 33 because of the transfers. If I can bank my transfer in game week 32, I'll have 2 free transfers in the blank game week 33 where I can make those moves. And if we do find out the next double game weeks, then I can start bringing those players into my team sooner rather than later. So I'll have 11 players. I might even have a bench player to kind of help me out. And then in game week of 34, this is where I can try my best to bank that transfer before the game week 35 fixtures. There is a lot of talk in the community about game week 35 being a double game week. If that's the case, then I have the chance to actually start bringing those players in before that. And I want to have that possibility to actually bring those players in that I want that has an extra fixture. And then if there is another blank with the players that I have on the bench and the transfers that I have banked, is definitely going to help me out to navigate through all of this without taking a -4 point hit. Now, of course, there could be suspensions, there could be injuries, there could be all sorts of things, but having some kind of plan is definitely going to help us. So that is the current plan. I think this is one of the best plans. But yeah, go ahead, take a look at this and create your strategy with the things that you are seeing right now and make it better. Now let's move on to that wildcard draft that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Now this is live FPL where you can create a transfer planner, which definitely helps. So please check this website out. So as you can see, currently this is my wildcard draft, right? Of course, players are going to change, but this is what I just picked. Now, as you can see, this is the team set up for Gameweek 31. Now, like the strategy that I just mentioned, Gameweek 32 is a double game week. And as you can see, this is how my team would look like with that wildcard draft that I showed you. I've got Sanchez, Son, Kane, 3 Tottenham players that's got double. Jota, Gundogan, good fixtures. Jota against Leeds, Gundogan against Aston Villa. 2 Manchester United players, Shaw and Fernandes against Burnley. 2 Chelsea assets here, Azpilicueta and Mount. Vardy against West Brom. Schmeichel at home against West Brom as well. And a decent bench to help me out. And as you can see, these are like really cheap players that actually plays. And then, like I mentioned on my strategy, banking the transfer here because my team is looking really good. That's going to help me out in the blank game week 33. And as you can see, this is how my team will look like. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players for this blank game week. And, you know, I've got 2 free transfers. I can remove a couple of these players and get 11. Maybe I could even get a bench player. So that's why banking a transfer is going to help us a lot in this blank game week. Most of us are going to have 2 to 3 Tottenham players. Most of us will still have 1 to 2 Manchester City players. And when we are banking the transfer, we can get other players such as Jack Grealish, if he comes back. A good fixture here against West Brom. We can go ahead and try and get in Mo Salah here. Maybe we can get him before, so we don't have to make that transfer here. And, you know, Wolves against Burnley at home. Neto, Cody, I can still bring those players in. And don't worry, I'm going to be looking at those in a second anyway. But I just want to show you guys an example on what I'm thinking to do. And I'll use that transfer. I might not even need to use the 2. I'll just probably use 1 as an example. And, you know, if we're here more double game weeks, then we can make those adjustments. And yeah, and this is how the team will look like in game week 34. So this is the plan. That's why I'm wildcarding in game week 31. I'll be able to have a high chance to bank the transfers and attack every single game week as much as I can. Of course, there is going to be a lot of luck on the way. And of course, there's injuries, there's suspensions, there might be other things to kind of consider. But with those 2 free transfers, it is definitely going to help me out. So that is the plan. That is what I'm thinking to do. Let's just see what happens. Anyways, let's look at the wildcard draft. And I'm going to now talk to you guys about different alternatives on the players that I have for each positions. So here we go. This is the wildcard draft. Now, first up, this is my current team. And there are other players that I have in mind that I'm about to show you. So first up, let's have a look at the goalkeeper options because it is quite important to get them right. Now, I'm just going to remove these 2. And I'm going to bring in Mendy, a Chelsea asset that is 5.2. And if you do have a set and forget goalkeeper, then Foster is the player to bring because he is 4 million and actually plays. Now, the other goalkeeper options that I'm thinking of is Lloris in goal. As you can see, 5.6, so it is quite expensive, and you gotta kind of like navigate through this blank Gameweek 33. So you need a plain goalkeeper. Now you can go ahead and play Martinez, that has got a really good fixture at home against West Brom. So if you do have him in your team, you don't need to remove him. But if you want to go for a cheaper player, the player that I want to recommend you guys is Sanchez from Brighton. As you can see, he is 4.5, 3.4% owned, and has a fixture away against Sheffield United. So let's just say that I go with this combination. Of course, then I have to remove one of the Tottenham assets there. Cody is a player that I have in mind. That is 4.8. Really good fixtures. Fulham away, Sheffield United at home, Burnley at home. Is going to definitely be useful in this Gameweek 33 fixture. And as you can see, I still need a little bit more money to kind of help me out. And this is where Chris Wood can go. And I can go to Leicester City and bring in Iñárritu. That is 5.8. And as you can see, with one or two changes, I already created a template that a lot of FPL managers are looking at. And I got still a little bit of money. Obviously, it all depends on your team value. You might not be able to get this. If you don't, just downgrade one of the defenders. You don't have to go for like players that I have. Just downgrade one of them to like a 4 million. A player that doesn't even play is okay. You know, I'm pretty certain that you're not going to be using every single of these players. So this is basically the template that a lot of FPL managers are looking at. Maybe removing Mount to Neto is what people are thinking. And that is a good option as well. I'll just put in Mason Mount there because I think that he can do really well in the next coming game weeks. And there we go. This is some kind of template for you to use. And just basically look at this and go for the players that you actually really want to go for. Now, if we move on to the defenders, we've got Konsa, Azpilicueta, Shaw, Cody, and Phillips. Phillips is a 4 million plain Liverpool defender. Now, I know that Liverpool hasn't been keeping too many clean sheets, but 4 million plain Liverpool player is fantastic. With the fixtures that they have, I think they will be able to get a couple of clean sheets along the way. Now, the other player that I have in mind is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is a player that I would love to have in my team, but I am not going to break the team apart to go ahead and bring Trent. I'll have to spend a lot of money, so that means I'll need to downgrade a couple of players. However, if we find that Rudiger is fine and there's no problems in that Chelsea side, then he could be a fantastic choice of 4.7. I'll still need money, but with this, I'll need to change the goalkeeper options. I can go with Mendy and remove Sanchez there and bring Foster in. And there we go. This is what I'm talking about by changing a few things around. The wildcard draft that you saw in the beginning is just to show you guys an example of different possibilities. And there we go. I basically changed it to the template that a lot of FPL managers are thinking to go with. Now, if we move on to the midfielders, we got Neto here. That is 5.7. Gundogan is still in my team so far. It all depends on the Champions League games. And he could change to Mahrez, to Foden. For me, I want to keep him from now. I've got to check the Champions League games. And it all depends on the team lineup there. And with the wild card, I might try something a little bit different and go for a player that was rested in the Champions League for that Leeds game in Gameweek 31. So Manchester City players are on hold for now, but their defense, I can go with Diaz. So if you do not like the Shaw pick, you can go and try and get in Diaz or any other Manchester City defender that you want. I think Diaz is the one to kind of go for. And of course, I don't have the money. Then I have to make some changes. I guess I'll have to remove Trent there and try and, get some money there. Maybe bring back Phillips in. I have 2.9. I mean, I can try. Let's have a quick look if I can actually bring in Mo Salah. It's going to be quite difficult because a lot of people will try to get him as well. I do want to mention him. Okay. Yeah, show. Okay. There is a possibility. So, if Antonio was fit, I think he picked up an injury. And that's why I went with Chris Wood for now, because there isn't too many good striker options. Maybe I can go with Watkins, but he's got difficult fixtures. And there we go. You could go with something like this. If you have the chance, if you have the team value. Got Salah, Jota, Phillips, Captain Salah for Gameweek 31. I think this is a fantastic. I really like this. That Vardy change actually helps me out a lot to give me a very good captain option for Gameweek 31. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Just showing you guys different options here. Fernandes is going to be my team. Now you can go and switch him over to Salah if you want. I'm going to keep him because his ownership is too high. And if he does well, I lose a lot of ranks. And I don't want to do that. Next up is Jota, 6.7. He is on form. He is on fire. And as you can see up front, I've got Chris Wood, Vardy and Kane. I think Jamie Vardy is going to be the player to actually have in the next few game weeks. With these fixtures, I can see him scoring a lot of goals. His percentage of ownership is low enough for you to get a lot of rank boost. Chris Wood is just there just because I haven't made my final decision on the third striker. So that is pretty much it. I showed you guys different possibilities. I showed you guys different drafts that you can go with for your FPL teams for Gameweek 31. A lot of different players to pick from. I tried my best to go through every single position to help you out. I know this video is longer than usual, but I want to do what I can in one video so you guys have every single information that you need to make the right decision. First up, we got to look at those Champions League and Europa League games to make our final decision. That's what I'm going to be doing. This is how my team is looking like. I'm in the top 100k. I'm pushing towards the top 50k with this strategy. I think I can do better. Obviously, we need a little bit of luck on the way as well, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, I hope that this video has helped you. If you are new to the channel, subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. If we can get 200 likes, that will be fantastic. Thank you so much for joining in, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.